Hello and welcome to the Cryptocurrency News channel. Now, there's been some talk about 18K Bitcoin end of the year. I think it's Gareth Calloway's prediction, and he's actually been right about the last two things: 52K local top, and also 30K like BTC minimum during the last dip that happened maybe 2 months ago. Now, I don't really know about his other predictions. However, we're going to look at the 18K Bitcoin in the year, why I don't think it's actually happening, and some of the ways it could possibly happen, but probably won't. So, 18K Bitcoin in the year, I think the theory is there's going to be some deflation, and therefore the price of Bitcoin as well as other things are going to go down, plus the bad economy will drag Bitcoin down. Now, there's several factors that don't really make sense here. The government is printing money like crazy. And when that actually happens, you have an oversupply of money, especially if the pandemic draws to a close and people basically go back to normal. There's going to be an overglut of supply. So things are more likely to inflate than deflate. Plus, the government itself has said inflation will probably be high for the next few years, which obviously makes sense. Also, 18,000 is lower than 20,000, obviously, and that was the last Bitcoin top of the last cycle. Bitcoin in like a cycle later has never dumped anywhere close to what it was the high of the last cycle. Remember, like last time when we dipped from 20K, we only got to like 3K. We did around 3.8K twice. I do remember around that time period, people were thinking like 1.8 or 1K, and 1K or 1.1K was actually the top of the cycle before that. Of course, people were saying all this stuff, and it never really happened. We stayed around 3.8, I think, or maybe 3.2 was our low. So we were roughly at 3 times our previous high. Plus, we already solidified around 30K as a bottom for this intermediate dip. So if we go on another bull run, which I'm pretty sure we will, I don't think we'll dip below 30K. And I know a lot of people are saying like, well, this recovery to 45 or 50K is a bull trap. It's not a bull trap. It is actually a recovery. You can't just say like every time that something starts recovering, it's a bull trap, because it was a bull trap at 30K, and then it was a bull trap at 35K. And then when that didn't work, it was a bull trap at 40K. And then it was a bull trap at 45K. And then it was a bull trap at 50K. And now since it's gone below 50K, they're saying that again. You could always say something is a bull trap because eventually, yes, it will go down. Even though if the local minimum is higher than the last maximum, they will still claim they are right because it went down. Yes, markets don't go up forever. Eventually it does come down. But you can't say everything is a bull trap because you'll be wrong like 5 times for every time that you are actually right. And that's not a very good accuracy percentage. 20% accuracy, not very good in finances. So let's actually take a look at the factors that could actually cause a big dip. There's many Korean exchanges closing. However, the big four, the big two really, Bithumb and Upbit, are not closing. They have secured bank partnerships and they have registered. So the ones that actually affect people internationally are probably not going to be closing. So, but it is a blow that like at least 40 Korean exchanges are closing because they either don't want to register or they cannot secure banking partnerships. So that is one thing that could actually affect us downward. So the bill, or the actual infrastructure bill with a crypto rider, could actually pass on Congress September 27th. There's a very unfavorable crypto bill that could actually make many things like fall under the KYC AML preview. And that would actually be pretty bad because miners and validators cannot possibly KYC AML you, and that would actually make mining and validating and running nodes impossible in the United States. However, there is strong opposition to that. The earliest they could put that bill into action is 2023, and also the thing is like it will be challenged in court if it does actually pass and Biden signs the bill, which he will because he just wants an infrastructure bill passed. Doesn't really matter to him if there's a crypto rider or not. He'd be equally as happy with or without the crypto rider. So that bill could be a pain. But the thing is, people already know about the bill. And I think they see that it's really not going to be alive in its current form when everything is passed. I think they're going to force Congress to define more bounds for cryptocurrency KYC AML. There is also this small thing about the Biden administration putting sanctions on using crypto for ransom payments because, crypto is becoming a popular option for people who want to pay ransoms because it can't be tracked. Now, that actually might be a good thing, because if you just basically forbid crypto for paying ransoms, that would actually boost up the credibility of crypto. So like, terrorists aren't asking for Bitcoin ransoms, because that would make crypto look kind of bad. Of course, KYC AML is going to force some crypto businesses to close. However, KYC AML could also be a good thing because it will spur on mainstream adoption. Now, reasons why 18K wouldn't happen by the end of the year. KYC AML can actually be here as well. As more people KYC AML, it'll gain more credibility and more institutions will actually be able to get in. There are a plethora of congressmen now that are actually pro-crypto, and they're going to be fighting for crypto rights on Capitol Hill in the United States and elsewhere. And other countries are actually much more friendly to crypto than the United States. So I think worldwide acceptance is definitely trending up at this time. Many institutions are actually buying up right now. If you actually look at BlackRock, like their CIO actually owns Bitcoin in several of his portfolios, and there are things like iTrust Capital, a couple of state pension funds that are actually partially in crypto. So they really don't want crypto to drop all that much. So because of the state and institutional adoption coming in, crypto should continue to go up. ETH is leaving the exchanges and going into long-term wallets. There was a $1.2 billion ETH withdrawal from some of the exchanges. So yesterday, so that could actually lead ETH to pump even more, 4,000, possibly 5,000. If you know that ETH is going up that high, you know that Bitcoin's probably going up to fairly high. So at that point, I don't really think 18K end of the year is even in the cards. So countries follow, also like other countries are looking to follow El Salvador. The IMF threats actually are not working very well against El Salvador. Basically, okay, El Salvador is a president. I'm not really gonna, kind of like cheer him on or anything, because he's actually kind of destroying democratic institutions as well. But other countries are looking to follow El Salvador, because to get out from under the thumb of maybe the IMF or the US, you do have to have like a currency that these countries don't necessarily control. And there's other countries looking to follow it. Like I think a statue to Satoshi Nakamoto was just recently built in a country. And I do think other countries are looking to adopt Bitcoin as legal tender as well, not just El Salvador. So that will actually guarantee more national adoption of crypto. And if Bitcoin goes up, everything else goes up as well. Also, there's a lot of inflation and printing of money, especially in the United States. And when you inflate and print money like that, each dollar becomes less. People want a store of value, so they're going to go into things like gold and or Bitcoin. So Bitcoin should actually see demand from that as well. Plus, the younger generation are coming up. They are getting richer and they're investing that money into Bitcoin. The millennial and Gen Z people invest significantly more than older generations in crypto, and some of that money is flowing to our generation. So because of those reasons, I really don't think we're going to get 18K crypto. I think there's more arrows pointing up than pointing down, and I am still looking at 100K by the end of the year. But the thing is, I really doubt we're going to end the year under 50K. Yes, I guess there could be a sudden flash crash, but the thing is, unless that happens at the very, very end of the year, I think Bitcoin will quickly recover, because it quickly recovered from the last flash crash as well and went to a new all-time high. I also don't think that Biden really has the balls to actually just like stop printing money and stop propping up the stock market, because like Obama didn't have the balls to do that. Trump definitely didn't have the balls to do that, and Biden will not actually have the balls to do that. So if the stock market's in trouble, they will crank up that printer, buy more bonds, and pump the stock market back up, because we all know it's really politically inconvenient for the stock market to start going down during your term, because like neither Obama or Trump had the balls to do what was right, to stop printing money after the whole 08 thing was actually over, and maybe allow the market to correct itself and go back to normal. Neither previous president did that, and I don't think Biden will suddenly grow a pair and do that. So those are the reasons why I just don't think 18K is really possible. Let me know what you think, like and subscribe, and hit that bell notifications button. Thank you, and have a nice day.